See that guy? That's me. And that's Kiara. I'll spare you the 40-minute monologue about who we are. I hope you'll get to know us along the way. For now, suffice it to say that we were from Melbourne, Australia, we had good jobs, a nice place, and for the most part we kept up with the Joneses pretty well.
Our adventure first started 2 years ago when we decided to take a detour from normal life, buy a boat and take the longest way possible back to Australia. After years of scrimping and saving, we packed up our things, cancelled our lease and left our jobs, ready for our adventure to begin.
Hey buddy. Attack!
On the last day of 2017, we said our goodbyes to our family and friends and headed to Miami, Florida, in search of our new floating home.
Tell everyone why you're so excited.
Because I just read the menu, and it's like a proper cafe that gives you options. It's like I've never been on a flight before. What's the temperature in Dallas?
-3.
-3 degrees. And what are you wearing? Shorts and flip-flops. Yeah.
And our bags are checked all the way through to Miami. It's about 8:30 on the 1st of January 2018. We've just emerged from our very modest digs in a little Haiti in Miami, and we're on our way to get a SIM card so we can ring the airline and get back the 2 bags that represent a third of our worldly possessions delivered to us because they left them in Dallas. Off to a great start.
So having regained all of our bags, we headed off from Miami and drove, eventually clocking up almost 7,000 miles, up and down the East Coast to North Carolina and back down the West Gulf Coast as far as Fort Myer. Driving on the other side of the road took us some getting used to, and there were some embarrassing trips into the wrong lane, more than we'd care to admit. We were also given an expensive lesson in Florida state law, specifically the passing of emergency vehicles. Having paid our dues and putting it all behind us, we were back on the road and on our way.
It wasn't all highways and rest stops. We stayed with some fantastic and friendly Airbnb hosts who were kind enough to point us in the direction of some local highlights. Jane, one of our hosts, was kind enough to lend us her kayaks, which we paddled down the Crystal River, famous for its manatee population.
Cows.
Manatees can weigh up to half a ton and are mostly herbivores. They are incredibly friendly and curious creatures and appear to be quite fond of cuddling kayaks and people alike. We were also lucky enough to be in Tampa for the famous Gasparilla Festival, a whole day and a parade dedicated to the pirate Jose Gaspar who terrorized the Gulf Coast of America during the 18th and 19th century. Despite all the fun we had on the road, we were here with a purpose, finding our new home. We'd spent almost 2 years looking at different types of boats in different size, class and price ranges. We decided that we were looking for a Bluewater cruiser between 38 and 42 feet. In order to meet our budget, we needed to get an older boat. However, we tried to stay younger than 1980 and limited our selection to heavy displacement boats with modern construction methods and materials. What makes a Bluewater cruiser capable is a topic of much debate in the sailing world, and would take an entire video to do justice, so for now, I'll leave it to the armchair sailors. Tell everyone at home how it feels to
be in the middle of a negotiation with two very affordable and viable candidates.
Just said I want to go outside and just do some star jumps just to release some of the anxiety. Just like shaking my legs.
After a little bit of haggling, our offer was accepted. We then had to arrange for a surveyor and a survey date.
Is this window?
Walking along a beach in Tampa. We are waiting for a time that we can do a survey for the boat. And at the moment the owner just wants to do a few adjustments to it. As in he wants to replace the impeller and get a mechanic on the boat and put it in the water too. Before we get the survey done, so we're waiting for him to do that before we can get a survey done. A lot of waiting around, which kind of sucks. So we've just been planning what we can do in the meantime. We're thinking about a road trip up to New Orleans.
New Orleans?
Yep.
Narlands.
Narlands. Edit that out. Survey day 1 finally arrived. We had to split it into 2 separate days as he only wanted to do some small engine jobs prior to putting her in the water, and our surveyor Lon was pretty busy. Part 1 was purely to check the hull, which despite the paint needing some serious overhauling, was in great shape.
Morning everyone, it's just gone 2 minutes past 8 AM on survey day number 2. We looked at this boat about 2 weeks ago. The offer was accepted, and then we managed to get the first section of the survey done before it went in the water. So the hull checked out, everything was good, other than it needing a scrape and a paint. Sadly for us, the owner tried to start the motor once it was in the water, having just changed the impeller and had starter motor problems. And so it took a week of delays to get that reconditioned and put back in. So now we're back on track, having burned through a week of accommodation unnecessarily. But them's the breaks. Pray for a favourable survey for us.
Finally, over a week after the first survey was done, survey day 2 arrived. Despite earlier hold-ups from engine trouble, on the day of the survey everything went smoothly and our surveyor only picked up a few minor faults to be repaired later. Now came the time for paperwork and money transfers, all of which were taking a lot longer than we expected. So we decided to take that road trip to New Orleans. We're in New Orleans! Yay! We decided to do a road trip to New Orleans because everything was just taking so much longer than we thought. So our money, it took a while to go through. Anyway, it's still taking a while to go through. I've been on the phone to Citibank today. I did use the words, I'm homeless and I need my money. That did come into conversation. Because there's an issue that they can't release our funds until somebody speaks to me first. And so we can't pay for the boat just yet, but we will hopefully get it within the end of the week, the money transferred over. So until then, we're in New Orleans, drowning our sorrows because we don't quite have our boat yet. It's just right there, but we can't get it.
And we're living in the back of a Jeep in the Walmart car park, spending what should be our accommodation money on cocktails.
If that's not a reason for drinking, I don't know what is.
Behind schedule and over budget, and feeling a little sorry for ourselves, we decided with time to kill that we needed a nature fix and a change of scenery. So, we headed to the Apalachicola National Forest to lay low for a while whilst we waited on the banks to do their part. And finally, after 3 days, we got a text.
What does it say? What does it say? What does it say? What does it say?
Congratulations, Kiara and Adam. The money came through in this morning and we are closing today. The money was about $24 short, but that's due to the currency fluctuations. And then, it's doing that short message thing, so. Yay!
Yay! We're in a boat! Yay! Finally! me!
Harry called as well, so maybe we
Oh.
can go down there today.
Yes! Alright. Cancel all other plans. Let's just go down there.
Call Harry.
Hello!
How's it feel to be home finally?
Oh, feels strange, unusual, but it's good. I'm so glad to actually finally have a home again.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed that, please give us a thumbs up and do all those things that YouTubers tell you to do to help them out.
Subscribe, like, follow. Which is the same as subscribe.
Write things in the sky, yell it from the rooftops, send carrier pigeons.
And we'll see you next time.